Good afternoon. My name is Alfred Gay. I'm a professor of printmaking and German at SC4. And this is a piece of mine that I made a couple of years ago. And it's of King Lear. And it's a monoprint, which means there's only one of them. It was painted and drawn on plexiglass. And it comes out of a session where I was teaching a figure drawing class. And in this class we had a aspiring model who wanted to be an actor, and sort of playing off of that, we dressed him up as King Lear. He was considerably younger, but having seen the production myself, I could imagine him as an older man. And so I drew from life onto the plexiglass and then printed while the model was modeling. And so each image, I did a series of about 3, and each image took about a half hour to 45 minutes to complete and then print. Of that, this is the best of the series. The ones that were, whoops, never saw the light of day, and so you do have to edit your work, and not everything always turns out the best. But
Alfred, can you say why you had to do this in such a short time?
Monoprints themselves, because the ink has a limited open time, in other words, it will dry. It's oil-based ink, and it only stays what we call open or printable for about an hour. And then if you run your paper and your plexiglass through the etching press, it will laminate forever. And so we don't want that. So we work on keeping a very tight timeline, and we also encourage the ink to stay open by the use of a retarder. And the way I get some of these whites is I work with both paintbrush that has solvents on it, and then occasional a little bit of Q-tip work and other magic that I perform.
Do we see your fingerprints on the lower part?
You do see my fingerprints on the lower part, yes. Guilty as charged. Not supposed to be there, but an observant eye will find them, yes.
I actually find them to be part of the charm of the piece. I've shown this to many groups of students over the last few years, and response is very positive. I wonder if you could say just a little bit about this aesthetically speaking.
Sure. One of the most interesting things is to work with the complete range of black into white. And while there aren't a huge amount of grays in this area, there are the contrasts between the extreme black of the background, which then fades into the black of the mantle of the king. And even though they're different, they're the same color of black, they appear different. There's a little bit more texture in here. There are lines that indicate fold. There are the lines in the crown and the face and the aging of the figure, indication of a hand and a sword, and it draws you forward, and the piece looks at you, or at least looks right at your left shoulder, and so you feel that you're being watched, and that engages the viewer more with the piece itself.
I find that when I show this to my students with no title card, many of them will, on their own, spontaneously come up with a Shakespearean subject matter for this.
So one King Lear or other Macbeth or
Yeah.
some other form. Yes, I love theater very much, and I have both my son and daughter involved in various aspects of it. And so it seems to run in the family, although I'm the least theatrical. I just do art.
Well, Alfred, thank you so much. And is there anything, just to close this off, you'd like to say to my students as we go into our discussion of modern art?
Art is directed and sometimes happenstancil, even though that's not a word. You try to control and influence how you create a piece, but you also have to welcome the happy accident. And this is a combination of all those factors: skill, timing, and the fact that it turned out just right.
Thank you so much, Professor Alfred Gay.
You're welcome.